My husband, Ethan Wilson, suggested a fake divorce to transfer the old house to me so he could buy another property under his name. I readily agreed and drafted the divorce papers without hesitation. He smiled tenderly, saying, "Honey, you're the best. I swear we'll remarry as soon as the new deed is processed." I gazed into his eyes with feigned devotion. "Promise me, Ethan. Swear you'll die horribly if you betray me." His expression froze momentarily before he recovered. "I swear on Luna's life if I ever betray Ivy. Let me perish in agony." I smiled faintly. His reckoning would come soon enough. After all, I'd been reborn into this moment. Ethan was currently holding my hand, enthusiastically pointing out floor plans. Across from us sat Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, nodding along with her perpetual smile. "Look at this green court unit. Ivy 120 square meters. South-north ventilation. It's in the new development zone with future rail access. Luna will need the school district for kindergarten next year." I stared at his animated face, bitterness rising in my throat. His casual mention of our daughter only amplified my fury. In my previous life, he'd schemed to dump the secretly mortgaged old house on me while absconding with all marital assets, even Luna's custody, just to legitimize his affair with Mia Johnson. That homewrecker wasn't just his mistress, but my former intern whose job I'd secured through corporate connections. After Mia bore him a son, Luna became their unwanted burden. "She gets 2 meals a day," Mia had sneered during custody battles. "We'll let her serve my boy out of charity." They drained me through legal warfare while spreading workplace rumors about me and Ryan Clark. The harassment caused professional failures that got me suspended, leaving me defenseless when loan sharks came for the triple mortgaged house. My death came swiftly, a shove down the stairs during debt collection. Now, fingernails digging into Ethan's palm, I concealed my revulsion. Luna's custody and his utter ruin would be mine. He yelped, shaking his reddened hand. "What's wrong, honey?" Biting back rage, I tearfully kissed his injury. "The down payment. It's 70% for second homes now. Thinking of Luna's future breaks my heart." My shoulders shook with manufactured sobs. Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, had sabotaged me since learning I carried a girl. She'd replaced my hired help, then starved me with cold leftovers while feeding my takeout to stray dogs. Luna arrived premature after her obstruction of emergency surgery, a procedure only approved when my parents rushed from Suzhou. Yet Ethan knew. He'd named our fragile daughter Luna as consolation, even as his family's cruelty continued. This time, their vicious cycle would end differently. The Wilsons would pay for every stolen meal, every malicious rumor, every moment Luna suffered. Reborn from bloodstained stairs, I'd become the architect of their downfall. He even forcefully insisted his mother move out of our home and booked me into the best postpartum care center. At that time, I thought I'd married the right man. Ethan Wilson was definitely the one I'd spend my life with. Who could have imagined he'd eventually drive me to despair? All because he inherited his mother's toxic preference for sons over daughters? I'd forgotten the saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. How could the beam stay straight when the foundation's crooked? An idea suddenly struck me, one I'd fantasized about countless times in my past life. If given another chance, I'd make sure their entire family ended up with nothing. Ethan pulled me into a hug, oozing fake concern. "Honey, the Wilsons downstairs just bought a new place with 35% down payment. They saved over $100,000 in taxes." I looked up with teary eyes, half feigning confusion. "But aren't they restricted from purchasing? How'd they manage it?" The coastal city's policy required 35% down and 1.5% deed tax for first homes, doubling to 70% down and 3% tax for second properties. Singles could buy 1 unit. Married couples too. They got a paper divorce. Ethan explained, tracing my nose. Transferred their current home to his wife so he could qualify as first-time buyer. Completely legal, no one can trace it. Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, squinted shrewdly. How much are they saving? Ethan mysteriously held up 5 fingers. At least $500,000 including interest and tax savings. Goodness! I covered my mouth in exaggerated shock. No risks? None whatsoever. Real love isn't bound by paperwork. His saccharine gaze turned my stomach. Fighting nausea. I mirrored his fake affection. You're right. Darling. Let's discuss this. Ethan's eyes lit up. His mother practically glowing with greed. He produced a calculator. Fingers flying. $1 million property. $150,000 taxes. $350,000 down, we need at least $3,650,000 liquid. How much do you have saved? I furrowed my brows under his intense stare. Only about $1 million. What about you? He froze. Clearly unprepared for my answer. Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, erupted first. 8 years as a director and this is all you've saved? Wiping imaginary tears. I countered. Remember when your brother needed $300,000 to build his house? You said he'd carry the family honor as chief mourner. Ethan's stocks were tied up. So I gave the money. Then Sophia's tuition since high school, $50,000 to $60,000 annually. Your supplements and spa memberships cost another $70,000 to $80,000 yearly. The older woman flushed. Family obligations. But $1 million's insufficient. Smiling sweetly, I turned the knife. Ethan makes $500,000 at that multinational. He's contributed barely $100,000 yearly to household funds, should have $3 million saved plus my $1 million. More than enough. Ethan shifted uncomfortably, avoiding my gaze. My portfolio's underwater. I knew better. Half his money funded his mother. The rest spent on Mia. He probably had $800,000 at most. His scheme to profit risk-free? I'd dismantle it brick by brick. Maybe we should just sell this old house for the 70% down payment. I suggested innocently. No. Mother and son shouted in unison. I lowered my eyes, their synchronized panic confirmed Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, knew about his affair. But where would your parents live? She recovered hastily. You couldn't abandon them. You're right. I nodded. My parents contributed $1 million here. We can't sell. Pretending to calculate. I mused. If only we could borrow $2 million temporarily. My next bonus might allow early withdrawal. As anticipated, Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, pounced. Son. Ivy. I'll use your father's life insurance payout, my burial fund. Oh no. We can't take that. I protested half-heartedly. Nonsense. Family helps family. She insisted. Desperate. I knew Mia was threatening to abort their precious grandson unless he divorced me quickly. Then let's transfer the house to you as collateral. I proposed. We'll repay after my bonus so Luna's school enrollment isn't delayed. Ethan's tension visibly eased. I hid my smirk, they'd taken the bait. Let the vipers swallow their own venom. The house had already been liquidated for 500,000 yuan through refinancing. The danger of usury loans lies in their compound interest within 2 months. The debt could multiply several times over. Keeping this property under my name would be like sitting on a time bomb. Transferring it to Mrs. Wilson's name would force Ethan to rescue her if things went south. With the property and funds settled, we needed to discuss child custody. Luna was both my weakness and obsession. In this lifetime, I would never let Ethan take her from me again. I printed divorce agreement templates found online. Honey, look at this related news article. It's so absurd. I handed my phone to Ethan. The headline read, Man tricks wife into fake divorce and schemes to seize custody, mother collapses crying outside courthouse. Ethan's expression tightened before forcing an awkward smile. What a scumbag! He deserves to rot in hell. Exactly. I love hearing you curse like that. The more vile the oath, the swifter the retribution. I smiled sweetly. Our fake divorce agreement can follow this template anyway. It's not legally binding. When Mrs. Wilson peered at the document, she froze at the terms: full custody to mother, $10,000 monthly child support paid in lump sum until age 18. Visitation rights exclusively granted to mother. This seems unreasonable. Ivy. Mrs. Wilson frowned. Ethan nodded agreement. I patiently explained. Mom, it's just for show. We're family. You don't think I'd actually make Ethan wire these payments, do you? As Mrs. Wilson hesitated, Ethan gave her a barely perceptible nod. She immediately fell silent. Let's proceed. Darling, feel free to add any other requests. Ethan thumped his chest with performative sincerity. I lowered my eyes demurely, dabbing imaginary tears. My parents mentioned missing Luna. Remember when she had breathing issues as an infant? Mom held her upright for weeks. Now that we're doing this charade, I worry rumors might upset Luna. I want to send her to Suzhou for a few days. Relief flooded Ethan's face. Of course. Her daycare's closed anyway. We'll all visit. You're swamped with work. I interrupted. This house purchase gives me an excuse to ask Mom for renovation funds. I'll take Luna alone. It's easier to negotiate without you there. When Ethan started protesting, Mrs. Wilson kicked him under the table. Good idea. Visit your parents. After printing duplicate agreements, Ethan signed without hesitation. You're so understanding, sweetheart. We'll remarry immediately after the property transfer. I locked eyes with him. Swear it. Promise you'll die horribly if you betray me. His smile faltered momentarily. I swear if Ethan betrays Ivy, may he die in agony. I smiled serenely, knowing his oath would soon manifest. As for remarrying this community dick, I'd rather French kiss a sewer rat. Turning to Mrs. Wilson, I added, didn't you want to visit Yunnan? I booked a tour for after the property paperwork. Her eyes crinkled with delight. Walking to the bedroom, I remembered last lifetime's identical scenario. Hoping to reconcile, I'd sent her on vacation only for her to smash jade bracelets in a Kunming shop. The 150,000 yuan bailout and groveling apologies gave Ethan time to buy property and marry Mia. That snake hid Luna while smearing me online as an adulterous mother. Her manipulative TikTok videos showed my daughter sobbing, "Mommy doesn't want me." Psychological warfare to break our bond. Not this time. I was subjected to relentless cyberbullying from online keyboard warriors, enduring a modern-day witch hunt that branded me with scarlet letters. What shattered me most was the prolonged silence between Luna and me since that day, 2 entire years of agonizing separation. Luna Wilson had always been a sweet child with porcelain skin and dimpled smiles that warmed the soul. Trapped in our old house, I survived those endless days clutching her photographs, sustained only by maternal love and bitter hatred toward the Wilson family. Instead of spring's renewal, I plunged into despair's abyss. Only in death did I learn souls have weight. My tether to existence was Luna. Until seeing her, I refused to fade. Drawn to her in my final moments, I found her in a cramped storage closet barely 4 square meters. Devoid of proper bedding. Yellowed quilts with frayed, soot-stained cotton lay heaped in corners. There my 6-year-old daughter curled on the floor, her head resting on arms that should have been chasing butterflies. When Mia took her at age 4, Luna had been vibrant and glowing. Now her limbs resembled twigs. Hands rough and peeling, faint bruises marring her thighs. The sparkle in her obsidian eyes had dulled to vacant stillness. "Luna! It's Mommy!" I cried, my spectral form trembling. "Look at me, baby. This is all my fault." She stirred, lifting her face toward my voice. "Mama." The raspy croak shattered me. Her tiny frame collapsed onto the quilts, tear tracks glistening as she clutched a threadbare teddy bear. "Mama, hurts." "Luna!" I screamed uselessly against the invisible barrier separating us, forced to watch her pain helplessly. "When are you coming, Mama? I've been so good." Her whisper echoed. Rage consumed me. Ethan and Mia knew holding Luna hostage kept me compliant. They'd weaponized my child, imprisoning her in this closet instead of sending her to kindergarten, inflicting physical torment on a 6-year-old. A baby's wail pierced the air outside. Footsteps thundered like doom. Luna scrambled crab-like into the corner, chanting, "Don't hit me, Aunt Mia. I'll be good." Mia kicked the door open, silhouetted menacingly against hallway lights. "Shut your trap, bastard brat. Your whore mother abandoned you." Behind her, Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, bounced a chubby toddler. Sneering, beat sense into the ungrateful wretch. "Spare the rod. Spoil the child." Snatching Ethan's belt from the wall, Mia's eyes glittered viciously. The leather cracked against Luna's shin, her scream merging with the baby's cries. "Stop crying like your slut mother," Mia roared. Thought she was better with her Chanel bags and city girl airs? Now I'm her replacement. Each word punctuated by belt strikes. I hurled myself against the barrier in silent frenzy. All because I'd foolishly advised Mia to stop bankrolling her brother's demands, to prioritize self-improvement over blind familial duty. How she'd seethed when I suggested keeping part of her internship earnings instead of sending every penny home. I survived on plain steamed buns and bottled water. When I accidentally exposed Mia's pitiful pride, I spoke to the boss about expediting her probation period. Yet she held such venomous resentment that she destroyed my family and my daughter. Some people's inherent poverty-stricken vulgarity can't be salvaged through guidance. Ethan came home from work to chaotic wailing. I pleaded with him through my eyes, hoping he'd at least stop the deranged Mia. To my shock, his frosty expression remained impassive as he murmured, "Keep it down. Another noise complaint will bring the neighborhood committee again." What a hassle. This man had dominated half my lifetime. 12 years from university through marriage and childbirth. Yet I never saw his cold-blooded nature. I still remember him at campus, wearing faded clothes as he stood rigidly straight outside student council offices, begging the president for part-time work. Even when rejected, he simply said thank you with unbroken dignity. That poor but proud demeanor captivated me. When he turned away, the icy glint beneath his lowered eyelids made me fall instantly. Later I secured him a library shelving job. During breaks, I'd tease him between book stacks, stealing kisses in hidden corners. We fell passionately in love. He vowed, "Ivy, you'll always be my greatest love." Now our daughter Luna only represented trouble to him. Rage consumed me as wind rattled the windows. When the fat brat cried himself into convulsions, the entire family abandoned Luna to rush him to hospital. I watched my daughter burrow into ragged bedding, clutching the teddy bear I bought her, whimpering, "Luna will run away. Mommy won't abandon Luna." My heart shattered, hating my inability to slaughter those wolf-in-sheep's clothing monsters, suddenly breaking through invisible barriers. I embraced her frail frame, murmuring, "Mommy loves you." A sigh echoed around us. "Very well. One more chance. Treasure it." Each memory stabbed my heart. I crumpled the travel brochure, opening WeChat to contact travel agency Xiao Wang, change my mom's Yunnan luxury tour to a Pinduoduo shopping group. Xiao Wang replied instantly, "MS. Ivy. Those are all forced shopping stops with no real sightseeing. Me, she wants to splurge. She adores jade bracelets." After prolonged typing status, he responded, "Understood. I'll ensure Mrs. Wilson enjoys her shopping spree." He promptly refunded the $20,000 price difference between luxury and $3,000 budget tours. This leftover money would buy my mother an indestructible gold bracelet. handing the travel documents to Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law. I said, enjoy next week's trip. Mom. I arranged VIP concierge service, request anything. This woman who habitually bullied our former housekeeper beamed, tours cost a fortune. What if I see something I can't afford? Lowering my gaze, I produced a platinum credit card from my wallet. This has a $50,000 limit. Mom. Buy whatever you want. On the balcony, Ethan chuckled into his phone, undoubtedly updating Mia. I continued evenly, keep this hidden from Ethan. You know how he complains about useless rocks. Mrs. Wilson's tone turned honeyed as she pocketed the card. Yes. That brat doesn't care about his mother at all. She probably realized she'd misspoken and awkwardly backtracked. But daughters-in-law are good too, half a daughter. So considerate. I smiled naturally. It wasn't my credit card anyway. I'd be thrilled if the old lady maxed out her son's card. This card was originally a mandatory perk from Ethan's company. He'd complained about the annual fee, but I insisted we keep it for emergencies. Now it's finally useful. Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, asked. Who'll feed Luna downstairs? I snapped back to reality and smiled. Mom. I'll handle it. Even though Ethan and I are divorcing, we're still living together. It's no trouble. Ethan emerged from his phone call looking refreshed, grabbing his suit jacket from the couch. Honey, there's an emergency at work. I need to go. I stood to adjust his tie. Will you be back for dinner? No. Client drinks. Internally, I scoffed. Client drinks? More like celebrating with Mia, toasting their freedom from me. The ex-wife. Celebrating their perfect family built on others' suffering. Do happiness stolen through bloodshed ever last? I snorted, yanking his tie sharply. He slapped my hand away. Face flushed. What's wrong? Honey? I forced a smile. Just excited about the new house. When he leaned in for a kiss, I turned my head. Who'd want to kiss rotten garbage? I might have bitten his tongue off. Your lips are chapped, he said with fake concern. Try C brand's new lip balm. How ironic, the man who nickel-and-dimed credit card fees could splurge on $100 lip care. After Ethan left, Mrs. Wilson rushed to convert her fixed deposits. The house fell silent. I immediately booted up my laptop, accessing the iCloud account I created for Ethan last year when I gifted him an iPhone for his birthday. I'd even upgraded him to 2 terabytes storage for automatic backups. 2 months later, he'd lost the phone during a business trip, switching to Android. Coincidentally, Mia started flaunting the latest iPhone. I'd naively asked then, Mia, that's the new $1,000 model. Treating yourself? She'd gloated. My boyfriend's gift. The iCloud now showed 200 gigabytes used. Scrolling through the photo stream revealed Mia's shameless selfies and explicit bedroom shots, all taken while Ethan slept. Astonishingly stupid of her to upload these using his account. Photo timestamps revealed their affair started the day I'd asked Mia to pick up Luna from daycare. That rainy afternoon, she'd stood shivering in a translucent white blouse. Ethan had draped his jacket over her shoulders and bought hot milk tea. That's all it took, one deliberate seduction. One midlife crisis. I saved the evidence to a flash drive, then spent $50 on a spam call website inputting Ethan's number. For the next 12 hours, his phone would bombard him with endless notifications. I'd warned him Android's open source system makes privacy like transparent underwear. Looks covered. Nothing hidden. 10 minutes later, an unknown number called. Ethan's slurred voice came through. Honey, my phone's glitching. Playing the dutiful wife. I cooed. Are you okay? I'll power it off. Need to work late, can't come home. I smirked. Such pathetic acting. Her tone was laced with concern. Take care of yourself then. After hanging up, My first thought was that the unknown number belonged to Mia Johnson. I grabbed my burner phone and searched the number. A female profile popped up immediately. Clicking through, there she was, Mia. I hit add friend. This is XX, bank loan department manager. I typed. Unsure if Mia would accept but betting on 50% odds. They must be desperate for home buying solutions now. Tossing the phone aside, I logged into Ethan Wilson's WeChat. The first account showed pristine emptiness. Then I remembered the broadband installation free SIM card. Logging in with it revealed his profile photo. Initially, I'd mistaken Ethan for aloof. But it was just insecurity masking his rural upbringing. Clinging to that facade even now. His WeChat, which I'd created years ago, still used the original password. Thank God for lazy habits. Years of pampering turned this gutter rat in tailored suits rancid. The chat logs exposed every plotted move. Early messages showed Mia sharing mundane details, gradually ensnaring Ethan in her honeyed fantasies. With each fawning "You're amazing, Ethan," his ego ballooned until the pregnancy bomb. "I'm pregnant. But Ethan, I won't force you. I'm at the hospital entrance right now. Say the word and I'll terminate." We used protection. How? Shy emoji. Don't you remember that night in the lace dress? You tore it off me before we forgot precautions. I can't divorce Ivy. Mia. I don't want to hurt you either. How noble, clinging to both wife and mistress. I understand, Ethan. But this is our son. My family's son obsessed. You know that. If I abort now and can't conceive boys later. The messages turned my stomach. Disgusting how she blamed rural traditions for her own misogyny. A woman who'd suffered discrimination now perpetuating it. Morphing into her mother's wretched shadow, all for bearing sons. You'll take my son to another man's bed? Never. That boy carries the Wilson name. But Ivy's ruthless. You'll lose everything. Don't worry. I have a plan. His plan involved exploiting my trust, fake divorce, custody blackmail using our daughter Luna, trapping me in quicksand while he soared. I screenshot every shred of evidence. Logging out. I packed Luna's overnight bag. Reached out to Emily Brown, my ride or die who'd stood by me through court battles last life. Made excuses about urgent errands needing 2 child-free days. Checked the clock. Showered deliberately. Slapped my cheeks twice. Inhaling sharply as I paced outside the daycare. My Luna. After more than 700 days. I'd finally hold my heartbeat again. The nursery jingle played. Teachers herded giggling toddlers into pickup lines. With her adorable little steps, Luna walked out. She was dressed in a creamy yellow outfit today. Waving her tiny hand vigorously at me. My eyes welled up with tears. She politely waved goodbye to her teacher before darting into my arms. Mommy. Luna missed you so much. Her carefree world only knew that we'd been apart for a single day. Yet her longing overflowed. Meanwhile, I'd endured over 700 days before finally holding her again. Breathing in her faint milky scent. Mommy loves you too. More than anything. At this moment, I truly felt alive again. A second chance. My daughter was both my vulnerability and my armor. Those who harmed her in our past life would pay with their blood. I took Luna to Pizza Hut and ordered her favorite pie. She blinked up at me with round, innocent eyes. Mommy. Mrs. Wilson will be mad. My mother-in-law despised fast food, claiming it was just Chinese flatbread with scraps of meat yet cost over 100 yuan. Meanwhile, her drawers overflowed with counterfeit jade bracelets she insisted nourished the body. Her 5-figure trinkets were essential. But my daughter didn't deserve a decent meal? From now on, you can eat whatever you want. Sweetheart. I smoothed her cute bun hairstyle. Heart swelling. After nibbling her pizza, Luna suddenly looked troubled. Mommy, did Luna do something wrong? What? Of course not. Last month, Daddy took me here. With Aunt Mia. She said it was our secret. My hands froze mid-motion. After rebirth. Some memories remained fuzzy. Last month, Mia had led that small project where I assisted, wanting her to earn bonuses for early promotion. Our company required 6 months probation plus a year's evaluation. I'd pitted her trapped in that misogynistic family, forever sacrificing for her brother. Yet she'd coveted my life, my position, my husband. Aunt Mia put her feet on Daddy's lap. Daddy said she had a splinter. Luna's brow furrowed with 4-year-old righteousness. But that's wrong. Only Mommy can do that. Clenching my fists, I whispered, Luna. I need to tell you something important. Do you trust Mommy? She slid off her seat and hugged my waist. Luna always loves Mommy. Daddy and we're going to live separately now. Her tears fell before mine. I dreamed Daddy stayed with Aunt Mia. They hit me. I had no home. Only Mommy. Her fierce gaze struck me. She'd also been reborn. Her trauma disguised as nightmares. Stay with Aunt Emily for 2 days. Okay? Then we'll move to Grandma's. As we fed each other fries, savoring stolen happiness, I realized this time, we'd win. Later, Emily cradled my sleeping daughter. Frowning, Ivy. What's wrong? Ethan's cheating. Stealing marital assets. That bastard. She hissed. Last week at CJ Mall, I saw him buying Chanel. Since when does that miser splurge on you? Her eyes narrowed. It's for his mistress. Isn't it? After venting, she rolled up her sleeves with murderous determination. I chuckled and hugged her. You're the best. But I've got a plan. Just do me one favor. Name it. Should I go slash that bitch's face or expose him online? Take Luna to my mom's place. Help them rent a new apartment where Ethan's family can't find them. I handed over Luna's ID and household registry. What about you? I'll wait here after settling them. Don't you dare act alone. I nodded. After seeing off my daughter and best friend, I raced to a private investigator. Money makes the world go round. Last life's evidence collection failed because I was broke. Now, staring at the string of zeros in my bank account from our company's profit-sharing plan, which Ethan never knew about since I'd foolishly disclosed all assets for our down payment last lifetime, I felt secure. The $20,000 retainer bought 24/7 surveillance on Ethan, plus $5,000 bonus for cheating evidence. Premium service delivered instantly. His car was already parked under Mia's rental when I left the agency. I downloaded a year's worth of navigation history from OnStar. Mia's alternate social media account revealed everything, them sharing tomahawk steaks, kissing in Ferris wheels, playing house while publicly posing as married. The sonogram post chilled me. 300 days. Our baby boy will have Daddy's strong jaw. All-night evidence sorting left my eyes burning but adrenaline surging. My counterattack commenced. True to form, Ethan vanished all weekend. Come Monday, I took Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, to transfer the property. Thank God for her hysterics years ago about adding her name to the deed alongside Mom's, otherwise we couldn't have done this direct transfer. Ethan stepped out to call his loan shark before signing. I knew he was confirming the mortgage would transfer with the house to me. His pen slashed across the documents without hesitation. Mrs. Wilson balked at wiring $200,000 to me. The actress I'd hired for $500 chimed in. $200,000 for Edo and district property? Girl, you're getting scammed. Market rate's $260,000 now. I smiled. Family discount. The random auntie patted Mrs. Wilson's shoulder. Old sister. This is daylight robbery. Don't want it? I'll take it. Keep your hands off. Mrs. Wilson shoved her away. This family keeps its blessings. The $200,000 hit my account with house payment memo. Our actress winked, exiting. Oscar-worthy performance. Morning property flip. Afternoon divorce filing. Outside the registry, I whispered to Ethan, they make couples do counseling now. To guarantee approval. Pinch me hard. I'll cry about your gambling debts and domestic violence. You take the fall so we get instant approval. He hesitated, image conscious as always. I pushed, this lets us requalify for home buying faster before the new 2-year post-divorce waiting period. His phone rang. I pretended to text while eavesdropping from behind a planter. His voice carried that familiar frost, processing the paperwork now. Stop nagging. The loan officer insisted that marriage was required to secure the full loan amount. Under the new policy, children must be registered as residents in school district housing from birth. All right. All right. Don't cry. I'll handle it immediately. I said. I'll find an excuse to send her away. Come over later. And we'll get the marriage license. We'll pay the deposit this afternoon. A slow smile curved my lips as I typed into my phone, no need for thanks. Policies are tightening, act fast. Mia had never been particularly bright. Using the loan officer's identity, I'd added her on WeChat. Within 2 days, I'd driven her into frantic action. She probably feared Ethan would slip through her fingers for someone of her social standing. Ethan represented the pinnacle of eligible matches. Pausing at the threshold, I asked Ethan, will you regret this? He blinked, then flashed his charming grin. Why would anyone regret buying property? Good. My smile turned genuine. May your future be smooth sailing. He coughed awkwardly. Same to you. Now there were only 2 players left in this game. The civil registry staff separated us into different rooms as expected. Before the officer across from me could speak, I launched into tearful theatrics, displaying the bruises on my arms. We're both women. I sniffled. Who'd choose divorce unless absolutely desperate? Look what he did. Cheating. Domestic violence. Gambling. He even took our daughter Luna partying with his mistress. She came home sick. My child is my red line. I cataloged the betrayals, his squandered assets, his mother's below-market seizure of the apartment my mother bought. All I want is divorce. The officer's eyes reddened with indignation. She stormed out, returning with Ethan's signed confession, admissions of domestic violence, loan shark debts, and voluntary surrender of all marital assets. Impressive. Don't be afraid. The officer embraced me. Women must dare to say no. The nation supports you. This unexpected kindness shattered my composure. Through all the upheaval, I'd held strong only to crumble at a stranger's compassion. Thank you. Could I add your WeChat? Of course. She smiled. Message me anytime. I'm also the center's counselor. You'll heal. Ethan looked grim when we emerged. The steel stamp descended, transforming our crimson marriage certificates into voided relics. 2 booklets now, charting separate paths. Red morning red, birthing new life. Outside, Ethan immediately whined. Honey, those clerks were so rude. I gestured toward the marriage registration area. See how the staff there are all smiles? He nodded, perplexed. One wall divided laughter from tears. Love's splendor versus its unraveling. Ethan paced incessantly, his tell for guilt. I waited. Ethan? I prompted. He exhaled in relief. Need to pick someone up. Wait here, I'll drive you home first. His voice oozed contrition, but the eager tilt of his eyes betrayed him. How else would he rush to exchange vows with another? I can manage. Don't keep your work waiting. He watched me leave. My phone buzzed with the private investigator's update. The documents had already arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau. A photo followed, showing Mia in a red dress, no longer the timid mouse from before, but radiating smug triumph. Yet her victory shattered at the marriage registration counter. A staff member there sneered. Divorced in the morning, remarried in the afternoon? Even seamless transitions aren't this smooth. Ethan flushed with embarrassment while Mia bristled. We're here for legal marriage registration. The staffer who'd processed my divorce earlier snapped. Legal doesn't mean moral. Mia clutched her stomach dramatically, shooting Ethan a pitiful look. After Ethan threatened to file complaints, the bureau reluctantly stamped their papers, withholding the customary congratulations. 2 videos arrived on my phone, one from the private investigator, another from that psychology consultant. A message accompanied them: "Congratulations on your rebirth. My door's always open." "Thanks," I replied. Trash belongs in dumpsters. Using my lone consultant alias, I flooded social media with analyses of Greenfield Estates market fluctuations. Predictably, Ethan called within hours. "Babe, the sales agent says multiple buyers are eyeing our dream house. I need $50,000 earnest money now." "50,000? You'll get 50 cents. I texted back, transferring now. Tossing my phone aside, I sipped mocha in the cafe, watching young lovers share ice cream on the sidewalk. Love could be beautiful, but never at the cost of self-betrayal. Ethan's impatient calls flooded in. "Ivy, where's the transfer?" A sales agent's voice chirped in the background. "Mr. Wilson, we've got 3 other interested parties." "Oh, Ethan." I feigned distress. The card got locked after too many password attempts. "The bank says 5 business days." "What about the house?" "Use your savings. My mom's wiring money soon." "Fine." He huffed, drunk on his imagined control. He'd forgotten the corporate wolf who'd single-handedly dominated East China sales. Wolves might graze but never become dogs, though cubs could soften their fangs. Scrolling through Mia's secret social account on my couch, I found a smoking gun, a purchase contract bearing both Ethan and Mia beside the declaration "Finally our home," complete with clasped hand emojis. Their celebratory steak dinner photos glowed with candlelit bliss. Ethan stumbled home reeking of wine, collar loosened, shedding years of pretense as he collapsed on the sofa. "You're drunk?" I wrinkled my nose. He pawed at me until I gently removed his jacket. "I made your favorite dishes to celebrate," I whispered, pouring high-proof baijiu beside garlic herb lamb chops, chive omelets, and chestnut chicken stew, all dishes that clash spectacularly with red wine and beef. "Why so lavish today?" he slurred. I clinked his glass, eyes glistening. "After all our struggles, house, car, baby on the way, you'd never abandon me. Right, Ethan?" My smile stayed tender as the wolf bared her teeth. Under my coaxing, Ethan drank cup after cup. In the past, I'd never allowed him to indulge in rich dinners or hard liquor at night for the sake of his health. Last year's medical report showed concerning stomach indicators. The doctor warned of cancer risks without proper care. From that day, our dining table only featured healthy recipes. When he ate vegetarian, I joined him. This visibly dampened his spirits. This past year, he'd been using overtime excuses to revel freely with Mia. Now I decided to fan those flames. In following days, he returned home increasingly late. Through Mia's social media posts, I watched them savor gourmet meals and share expensive wines. Meanwhile, I delivered various nourishing soups and customized menus to Ethan. When I saw Mia's post caption "Someone's willing to be a free nanny. Might as well enjoy," I chuckled softly. Let her drink her fill. Ethan still needed to coax me for the pending funds, and I happily played along. Every day I brought him different homemade dishes, pairing them with baijiu while showering him with praise. He asked about the money. I blamed bank delays, transferring him 10,000 yuan to avoid suspicion. Recently, I took sick leave from work, completely abandoning the project in Mia's hands. The inevitable call came one day. Mia sobbing through the phone, "Ivy, please come back. The project's in trouble." Of course it was. That community college graduate would have sunk projects long ago without my oversight. I'm coming. At the office. Colleagues whispered behind hands with peculiar glances. I smiled coldly. The awaited moment had arrived. Mia rushed out upon my entrance. With her plain features and naturally downturned eyes mimicking a delicate heroine's aura. She perfectly embodied the damsel in distress archetype that stirred male protectiveness. Ivy. I swear I didn't mean to mistype the contract. It was an honest mistake. She'd added an extra zero to the 3 million yuan deal, making it 30 million. Not a minor error but catastrophic. Ryan, our CEO, stood grim-faced by the window. Ivy. My office. He'd been my university senior. During my job interview, our aligned visions sparked an instant partnership to build this company from scratch. Over 8 years. I climbed from clerk to marketing director through sheer capability. Even when malicious rumors and work errors plagued my previous life, Ryan only suggested I take leave. He'd helped fight for custody of Luna too. Ryan. His tall frame turned. Handsome brow furrowed. Don't bother defending Mia. Her incompetence cost us. I wasn't planning to. Adults should bear their own consequences. His expression relaxed, finally showing sense. Have you considered the Suzhou project? I'll take it. Last lifetime. I'd refuse this partnership opportunity for Ethan and Luna. We shook hands. Pleasure doing business. Ivy. Likewise. Ryan. Exiting. I flashed a smile. Better call security. I might throw punches later. His stunned face followed me out. Passing the break room, I overheard Kevin from the rival division gossiping with subordinates. This time, the intern she brought caused trouble. So the Sioux City project will definitely go to you. Director Kevin. Kevin Taylor raised his eyebrows with a smirk. Not necessarily. She's still Ryan Clark's person after all. His team member sneered, a relationship built on favors. I heard she divorced her husband because she hooked up with our Mr. Clark. They've been sleeping together for ages. Several men chuckled lewdly. Her figure's insane. Wonder how much it'd cost to get a taste. You think you're Ryan? The man's loaded and handsome. What do you have? I've got skills in bed. Heh heh. Finding this absurd, I pushed the door open. Our eyes met across the room. I gasped in shock. Is this true? I didn't even know. Kevin tried to deflect. Just casual talk. How is this casual? I didn't know I divorced because I slept with Ryan. My raised voice drew surrounding colleagues. Mia Johnson came running first. MS. Ivy. You got divorced? Her shrill tone ensured everyone heard. I pinched my thigh hard and slapped her face viciously, pointing at her nose while sobbing. I divorced because of you. You slept with my husband. Got yourself knocked up. Made him beat me. We divorced this morning and you two registered your marriage this afternoon. Grabbing her collar, I rained slaps across her face, crying as I hit, you're the only one in this company who knew about my divorce. Even Ryan didn't know. You wanted to humiliate me. Before she could react, I dialed the police. I'm reporting slander and assault. When Ryan emerged later and heard my tearful account, Kevin and the other men turned pale. They began denying frantically. Mr. Clark. We were just gossiping. Heard it from others. Ryan's quiet authority silenced them. Others? Who? The men turned on each other. One producing chat records spanning from Department 2 to accounting, then to logistics. Finally, the cleaning lady pointed trembling at Mia sprawled on the floor. It was MS. Johnson. I heard her phone call in the restroom last week. She made me swear secrecy. Said Director Kevin had powerful backing from Mr. Clark. So the rumor mill traced back to Mia again. But this timeline offered different circumstances. I stopped holding back, clutching Ryan's sleeve. I wept uncontrollably. Mr. Clark. I treated her well. She seduced my husband, incited him to beat me, but I never retaliated. Yet I can't tolerate them dragging your name through mud too. Investigate thoroughly, Ryan commanded. Police arrived and took everyone to the station. When Ethan Wilson showed up bewildered, I almost smiled. His mother should be breaking that jade bracelet in Yunnan right about now. Seeing Mia's bruised face, Ethan kept his distance. Ethan, Mia whimpered pathetically, putting on an act. Ethan rushed to me. Darling, are you okay? The officers looked stunned by his audacity. I flinched dramatically. Don't hit me. I complied. We're divorced. What are you saying, sweetheart? Hearing the police summary, Ethan's eyes reddened. I never hit Ivy. We're temporarily separated. I produced their marriage certificate. Temporary separation with actual remarriage? The officer's demeanor hardened seeing my evidence. Ivy, you're playing me? Ethan lunged. I took his slap without dodging. When his hands closed around my throat, blood trickled from my nose. The pain meant nothing. I thrilled with dark excitement, wishing he'd strike again before officers restrained him. The station erupted. Assaulting someone at a police station? They handcuffed him to a chair immediately. An officer gave me ice, which I accepted meekly. Ms. Peter, how can we assist? We can detain him if you press charges for intentional harm. I pulled out the divorce agreement. He hasn't paid a single cent in child support to this day. Mia immediately stood up. He's Luna's father. If he goes to jail, it'll leave a permanent record that could affect Luna too. Besides, your agreement was fake anyway, just for buying property. There's official seals from the Civil Affairs Bureau and his written confession there. I calmly produced all documentation. I respect the law. Our divorce is legally binding. I presented WeChat records, hotel receipts, shopping lists, property transactions, repayment proofs, and IOUs. Officer, I spent 12 years with him. I renovated his family tomb. Paid for his sister's education. The apartment under my name was purchased with my mother's down payment while I covered the mortgage. Though market value was $325,000. I settled for $260,000 without taking a penny extra. As the wronged party, I only asked for our daughter and child support equivalent to 20% of his salary and lump sum to sever all ties with the scum. All evidence shows I never took advantage of Ethan. I fulfilled every duty as wife, daughter-in-law, and mother. He betrayed me. My bitter laugh echoed. If he pays the full child support now, I won't press charges. We'll go our separate ways forever. Ethan struggled against his handcuffs, metal clanging violently. I stood expressionless as Mia knelt clutching my legs. Ivy, this is all my fault. Don't pressure him, give us 2 more days. When she tried emotional blackmail, I unleashed hysterical sobs that startled everyone. I sacrificed my youth for this family. Grew white hairs from stress. His mother caused my premature labor while he wined and dined his mistress. I used $3 lip balm while he bought her designer bags and cars. He abandoned our vows for her and their unborn son. Mia turned ghostly pale. Sweat dripped as she suddenly lunged at me, clutching her stomach. I expertly faked a fainting spell, collapsing into a policewoman's arms while Mia fell to the floor. Ethan, my stomach, she whimpered, blood staining her dress. As chaos erupted, I peacefully rode the ambulance. Genuine exhaustion from weeks of calculations finally claiming me. Waking to a Yunnan area code, I answered to hear Mrs. Wilson's shrill voice. Ivy, Ethan isn't picking up. Come to Yunnan immediately. Mrs. Wilson. I chuckled. Having trouble? Don't you dare call me that. You. A male voice interrupted. Ms. Peter? Your ex-mother-in-law broke a $52,000 jade bracelet here. She refuses compensation. Xiao Wang. I sighed. She's no longer family. She brought her son's credit card with a $65,000 limit, more than enough. Never contact me about them again. After blocking all their contacts. Police later informed me Mia's miscarriage complications from reckless consumption of lamb chops and improper prenatal care had left her infertile. Good. I murmured. Such wretched people shouldn't reproduce sons to become more Ethans. Or daughters destined for tragedy. Holding lilies. I entered her hospital room. Mia glared from bed as I arranged flowers and picked up a paring knife. Everything you have should be mine, she rasped. I earned my achievements through integrity and education. I calmly peeled an apple. My parents taught me self-respect. Had you approached me honorably instead of scheming, I'd have walked away. But in my dreams, the blade flashed steady in my hand. I saw myself marrying him. Our happy family in a big house with a son. She rubbed her belly, repeatedly calling out for her son. I sighed. You actually had the chance to escape your parasitic family. But you gave up and chose the shortcut. Several men and women burst into the hospital room. A man lunged forward, grabbed Mia's hair, and slapped her. You cheap bitch. How dare you get married without bringing the bride price home? Auntie Mia. I heard the man's rich. Give your brother $200,000 for his wedding. A woman chimed in. Sis. You're so stupid. Why did you let him sleep with you for free? The room erupted in wails and curses until hospital security intervened. I wiped my knife clean with tissue. Gently stuck it into an apple. Placed it on the bedside table. And silently left. As I stepped outside, police sirens wailed. Did you hear? A woman stabbed her brother in the maternity ward on the 5th floor. Sunlight broke through the clouds, warming my face. Later, Ethan wired $1,500,000 through the police, asking me to write a letter of forgiveness. I complied. After all, he's Luna's father. I didn't want his criminal record affecting our daughter's future. Besides, his days were numbered anyway. Before our final confrontation, I'd taken him for a physical. The report showed his cancer markers had quintupled, with gastric bleeding, inflammation, and early liver damage. He'd sworn those who betray Ivy die horribly. Well, the prophecy fulfilled itself. Ethan kept begging to meet, sending emotional texts. Ivy, you're my true love. I messed up. Let's get back together. I'll transfer the old house to you. I blocked him. My private investigator continued round-the-clock surveillance per contract. Later, I learned Mrs. Wilson, mother-in-law, got dragged back from Yunnan. After smashing a $400,000 jade bracelet, she realized the payment came from Ethan's account. She threw a tantrum, kicking a $500,000 decorative cabbage at the store entrance. With her $2,500,000 property at stake, Ethan took illegal loans to cover child support, forfeiting his new home deposit. When he tried demanding refunds, security threw him out. Meanwhile, Mia stabbed her brother to death in mental breakdown, getting institutionalized. Desperate, Ethan turned to me again, not falling for it. I paid the investigator his balance. He grinned. Bonus info: loan sharks beat Ethan till he vomited blood. Doctors say the benign stomach tumor ruptured. Terminal now. I laughed until tears streamed down. Even heaven denied him extra days. At the airport, Ryan stood with hands in pockets, trying too hard to look cool. Safe travels, Ivy. I handed him the investigator's file. As partners, I might screw you over one last time. He shook the dossier containing evidence of Ethan's corporate data trafficking. My pleasure. Just don't make it habit. The plane touched down in Suzhou. Luna Wilson held my mother's hand. When she caught sight of me, she came running at full speed. I scooped her up, pressing kisses to her rosy cheeks. Mommy. Luna missed you so much, she declared. I love it here. I love Grandma. I love Grandpa. Can we stay forever? Forever. I promised, hugging her tighter. This is our home now. That night, I cradled Luna in my arms as I read from her storybook. And the little prince finally found his beloved rose. Luna clutched her stuffed bear, planting a kiss on my cheek before solemnly kissing the bear's fuzzy head. Mommy, she whispered with sudden gravity. I had another dream. Her expectant gaze demanded participation. Was it a good dream? I obliged. The best kind, she answered in the bear's squeaky voice, manipulating its paw like a puppeteer. Mr. Bear messed up time. But he fixed Grandfather Clock's hands so Mommy and Luna get forever happy. My breath caught as she raised the toy. The bear's uneven stitching betrayed my pregnant nightside craftsmanship. Its chest cavity holding the jade pendant I'd prayed over at temples, the one bearing the inscription, "May my child walk in health, dwell in peace, and know lifelong joy."